Zane had a 2014 Fiesta ST, and it was a fun car. It made 350 to the wheel on E85, and it was a good car for daily driving and for the winter and things like that. He had always wanted a Terminator Cobra since he was a kid. And he was looking around and decided he'd be okay to find one that was higher mileage, a little more worn out. It didn't matter to him as long as it was all there. Well, one day he was hanging out with his older brother, and he was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and 3 hours away from him in Dearborn, Michigan, he found a really awesome car. It was a 1999 Mustang GT that was converted into an S281C clone. The best part was it had a full 2004 Terminator Cobra drivetrain swap with the engine, transmission, everything. With only 55,000 miles, that came out of a wrecked car. It had the full Saleen body kit except for the side skirts and the side vents on the side scoops. But it had 430 gears, JLT cold air intake, a 276 upper pulley, full exhaust, aluminum drive shaft with safety loop, XCD clutch and flywheel, 8.8 rear end, so it had the solid axle, strange axle shafts, MagnaFlow exhaust, BBK long tube headers, and BBK H-pipe, and a couple more things. So he started negotiating with the seller, and they got to a reasonable price that they could both be happy about. And he told them that he needed to sell the Fiesta and a dirt bike that he had, and if he could do that, then he could buy the car. So he asked the seller if he would be willing to take a $1,000 deposit and hold the car for 2 weeks while he sold his other two vehicles. And within days, he had buyers for the motorcycle and the Fiesta. And so about a week went by of him talking back and forth with the seller, and he was getting more excited as the days passed on. And finally, he had set up a time and a day to go get the car. So when he went to go get the car, he hadn't been able to sleep at all the night before because of the absolute sheer excitement running through his veins. In his words, that's what he says. And I love this part of the story because I feel the same way, and I love to see somebody who's so excited about their car that it means this much to them, and that they're so excited, because there aren't too many things that get you really, really excited, and this is one of those things. So I like seeing this part of the story. And so he left from Ohio to Dearborn, and it was on a Saturday, and his dad had taken him since his brother was unable to go that morning. And it was a 3.5 hour drive to Michigan. And so he had little sleep along the way, but it was hard to sleep because he was so excited. They finally arrived to the man's house, and the car was sitting outside waiting for him to drive it home. In his words, he said, "I've never felt such excitement before in my life until this point." I love the look on his face. You can tell he's so excited and happy, and I'm sure nervous at the same time. I've been in the same situation. So he test drove the car around the block to make sure that everything was okay, and it was a beautiful, wonderful car. And so he got back to the guy's house, signed the title over, wrote out a bill of sale. He gave him $15,000 cash. And then it was time to take the car home. So he went back for his 3.5 hour drive back to Ohio with no sleep, but he was really excited. And the first thing he did when he got home was take the car straight over to his big brother's house so he could drive it. His brother loved it so much that he purchased an '03 zinc yellow Terminator Cobra. So Zane loves this Mustang to death. He says he's still excited about it. It's not his daily driver. He has a '97 Civic so that he can keep this Mustang out of the elements. But he's started to acquire some parts for the car, and he bought a Stegmeyer Stage 4 ported blower, which is the same blower I have on my Bullet. He has a 265 upper pulley. He's got a Kenny Bell boosted pump, Ford Racing 90-pound injectors, a 90mm mass airflow, a Metco lower 4-pound kit, and a Metco idler kit. He also bought dual core heat exchanger and SCT Rev X tuner. He still would like to buy a return style fuel system and pumps so he can run E85, and he wants to also look into getting a single blade throttle body. He'd like to make around 550 to 600 rear wheel horsepower on E85 by next year, and he's also looking into other options like a VMP 2.3 liter supercharger or something like that that's affordable, used, and a really good blower. So I just want to say I'm really excited for him. I'm glad he has a car that he loves. I think this is a great looking car. I think it's neat that it has the heart and soul of a Terminator Cobra, and it's like the rare Terminator Saleen Cobras that were made, but one that you can drive every day and not feel bad about putting miles on it. And I think this is a really fun car, and it's really exciting for him. So I hope you enjoyed the story. Stay tuned for more Mustang content.